Okay. Is my brain gonna load this time? We good? Okay, I think my brain loaded just fine. That was weird. I tried waking up like a few minutes earlier and I was stuck on the blue screen of doom forever. Let's see, where were we? That's right, we had just survived hellish nightmares within the tower. Now we have to talk to everyone again. That's the rules of this world. You do something, we have nice, pleasant conversation with everyone.
So, full of questions, are you? 'Tis the child abomination you speak of from the haunted castle?
Yeah,
If what you
I
seek
guess
is
that's
to
what we're
remove
talking
the
about.
demon from the child without harming the child, there is a way indeed.
Okay.
There is a connection between the child and the demon, one which can be followed to the demon's
Okay,
true
I have a
form
feeling
in
that
the
had I
night.
actually told
There,
Jowan to fuck
demons
off,
can be battled
this
to
would have been a
exit.
way for me to learn the
To
information on
maintain
question.
the blade, it requires lyrium and a group of mages to cast the ritual, neither of which we have, yes?
Yeah, we just barely got that from the tower, Morgan. I mean, I know I didn't bring you into the tower because you were stirring the pot and shit, but still.
But there you have it.
Okay,
I await your command. We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Nope, I'm not asking her why she's still here, because I appreciate that she's still here, and I'm not going to be a douche canoe.
What is your wish, Kadan? I caged myself. A weak mind is a deadly foe.
Okay, I
as
think
you
I
are
actually
no doubt
asked
aware.
this.
I came to your lands with... We made our way across the Ferelden countryside without incident, seeing nothing of the threat until the night week. They came from every...
Okay, no,
saw the
I think
last
I've
of the
heard
creatures
this.
Cut down, too late. I fell.
Yeah, no, I've heard this before.
I only know that when I woke, I was no longer among my Perhaps I searched for it, and when that failed, I did. I knew they didn't have... I know that they would know me as soulless, a deserter. No soldier would catch... If I knew where to look, it would be in my hand now. Near Lake Callan had. Perhaps the...
Okay, hold on. Did that dialogue only happen again because you don't have this equipped? I'm kind of curious. I am genuinely asking.
I am hardly surprised. No one has a place here. No
Okay,
farmers wish to... Very well.
Yeah, I've read that one too.
Speak then.
Yeah, okay.
I suggest
We're good. We're good,
As you
Mr.
wish.
Sten. I'm willing to bet anything that it is because you didn't have your sword equipped that happened.
Here, look at this. Do you know what this is?
Cocaine.
I picked it in Lothering. I remember thinking, how could something so beautiful exist in a place with so much despair and ugliness? I thought I should have left it alone, but I couldn't. The Darkspawn would come and their taint would just destroy it. So I've had it ever since.
That is strangely romantic, actually.
I thought that I might give it to you, actually.
Oh, I'm
In
blushing.
a lot of ways, I think the same thing when I look at you.
You have very odd taste in beauty, but you think of me as a gentle flower.
Gentle flower? No, I don't know that I'd put it that way. I guess it's a bit silly, isn't it? I just thought, here I am, doing all this complaining, and you haven't exactly been having a good time of it yourself. You've had none of the good experience of being a Grey Warden since your joining. Not a word of thanks or congratulations. It's all been death and fighting and tragedy.
Yeah, I guess that's
Maybe I could
fair.
say something. Tell you what a rare and wonderful thing you are to find amidst...
Rare, maybe. Wonderful. So are we married now?
You won't land me that easily, woman. I know I'm quite surprised.
Mix.
after all.
Thank you very much.
No need to start crying on me or anything. I guess it was just a stupid impulse. I don't know. Was it the wrong one? I'm glad you like it. Now, if we could move right
I mean,
on
flowers are one of the few
past
parts of
this
nature I don't
awkward,
hate, so it's
embarrassing
sweet.
stage and get right to the steamy bits, I'd appreciate it. Bluff called. Damn, she saw right through me.
Yes, I did. Yep. You're so cute when you're bashful.
I'll be standing over here until the blushing stops. Just to be safe. You know how it is.
Absolutely. You know, this is a lot healthier than the last relationship I was in.
Have I ever told you I really like the way you wear your hair?
My hair's an absolute mess. Yeah, it's stubborn sometimes.
Very nice, and it suits you. Simple. Not like the elaborate hairstyles we wore in Orlais. They involved flowers, ribbons, jewels.
That sounds
Well,
uncomfortable.
yes, feathers were all the rage, and Lady Elise decided she needed to outdo everyone else, and actually wore live songbirds in her voluminous hair. The chirping was quite charming for a while, but you must realize, terrified little birdies often have loose bowels.
Yeah, you don't say.
Yes, I don't envy them. She never washed her hair. But I was trying
What?
to say something nice to you, wasn't I? Oh, forgive me. My mind wanders so. It's just that I feel so comfortable talking to you.
I don't know why. I've
Say
insulted
anything
your
more than
personal beliefs
judgment.
like every chance we've talked. But I mean,
Yes,
I
very
guess
much
we're
so.
friends.
I haven't felt this close
I
to
can't be
anyone in a
picky with
long
who I
time.
consider
I really enjoy
friends.
your company. Thank you. I am honored that you feel that way.
I'm always so fucking lonely. Every friend is
Someone I can
treasured.
help with? Yes? What's on your mind? My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When
Okay.
Orlais was defeated, and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in
Okay.
Orlais and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it. Mother died when I was very young.
Oh,
Lady Cecily let me stay with her. I had no one else.
that was
She
kind
was
of
very
her.
old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother.
I barely have memories of my parents at this point.
Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dry flowers in her closet amongst her clothes.
Okay, I was about to say that's an odd detail, but
with a sweet
this
fragrance.
tracks.
Mother called them Andrastis Grace. They were very rare in Orlais. But enough about that. Let us move on. Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind? I miss Valroyaux. Unlike other cities where the people are the lifeblood and the character, Valroyaux was her own person, and her people little more than decorations. There was
That sounds
always
awful.
music in Valroyaux, streaming from the many windows, quiet refrains and triumphant choruses, and always floating above that all, the chant, coming from the grand cathedral.
No wonder you've been brainwashed. I mean, I respect you and your opinion.
Oh, it would take me a day or two to talk about the many splendors of Orlais, her golden fields, her lush meadows. Of course,
I'm
there are good
assuming
things
lots
and
of
bad things about
alcohol.
Orlais, like anywhere else. Sometimes I miss it dearly, and sometimes I'm glad I'm rid of it. And you will laugh at this, but
I guess
miss
that kind
the
of sums
fine
up a lot of the
things I had
places
in
I've
Orlais.
been to.
Dresses, fine dresses and furs.
I
and
hate
shoes.
dresses.
One can't mingle with nobility with bad shoes, you see. Orlais is very fashionable, almost ridiculously so. But the shoes, living with those ridiculous trends was worth it for the shoes. Well, they're shoes. They're pretty. Some of them anyway. When I left Orlais,
I suppose I had some pretty shoes when I was in the God Eater universe.
Embellishments in the front, a ribbon perhaps, or embroidery, in soft colors, of course. It was spring. I wouldn't want to run in it, or have to enter battle, but for lounging in a lady's sitting room, perfect. The shoes made in Orlais were exquisite. Not at all like these clunky fur-lined leather boots you have in Ferelden. Ugh, just look at them.
I'm trying to not be a dick, but come on, they keep the cold out. They're comfortable. I think
They're
that's the
sturdy shoes, but
I think that's the
sometimes
best middle of the road
leather
answer.
feet. Oh, I could talk about shoes all day, but we have things. Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind? Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be
You're
able
braver
to
than
benefit
me.
from them, I think.
I actively try to keep every story that I have to myself because
Which one?
yeah,
It
you
will
know,
come to you soon.
don't actually
Sure.
care.
Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind? Where did you hear this?
Yeah, I don't
Not
remember.
all
It was just an
minstrels are
option to.
spies. Most are just singers and storytellers, but some of them are what we call bards. Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are. The Empress must have her own bards at her disposal, I suppose, but many are more self-serving. In Orlais,
Yep, I think I'm
there's
gonna go
much
self-serve
rivalry
myself a
amongst the
piece of
High Border.
pie.
They fight over land, influence, and the
Yeah, I just
favor
realized I
of
only
the
spoke to
Emperor.
Alistair once. I
They
didn't make
cannot
sure
do
I
this
had more
openly
dialogue
because it is
options.
impolite, and in public, they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players. I have revealed too much, it seems, but it doesn't matter what I used to be. It is the past.
All right, that's fair.
I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry. And when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to see the Maker brought me here. Something I can help with? That's an idea. Let's just go over there, away from the others. For safety, yes? Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind?
Okay, I have thoroughly exhausted the conversation topics with Liliana.
It's been a long day. Rest would be welcome.
Testify, sister.
Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you
I
may
get
have
ya.
noticed, I'm no spring chicken.
I actually didn't notice with my constant regeneration. I don't even notice people when they age anymore.
Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in
No,
all honesty,
shucks.
I do not
I-
know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time.
Me too.
There's
I'm
always something else.
probably like 1,300 years
And
old
I
at this
have to
point.
keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done. Oh, no. I'm not the sort of person that leaves things unfinished.
I unfortunately am.
I promise. Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower? Ah, yes, Connor, of course. The first time I saw an abomination my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped.
I always
What
have
if I
nightmares.
could easily become one of them that frightened me the most. One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone. Replaced by madness. And there is no turning back. Or at least that's what they say.
Clearly that's wrong, given that we know
Of late,
there's a way to cure Connor.
If there is any way an abomination can be cured, or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity.
That'd be an interesting thing.
Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage remembers the person they truly are, then they are not an abomination. I never saw that. Thank you for showing me another way of looking at it.
I literally was talking out of my ass, but no
Tell me,
problem.
how did you become a Grey Warden? Then you became a Grey Warden out of necessity. But Duncan must also have seen something special in you.
Probably my crippling inability to die. He probably saw that and wanted to make use of it.
Represent your tribe and the Dalish as a Grey Warden. Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be. I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you? There's that, of course. But there's more to being a Grey Warden than killing Darkspawn and saving the world from the Blight.
I don't know. I just like from the first moment I set foot here, that kind of felt like that was the main reason.
People, whether elves or dwarves or men. As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men, and you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are.
I think what the shit?
Not they.
Oh shit. Okay, hold on. Right. Okay. Never mind. Sorry, I just barely noticed that it seemed like my connection to you had stopped, but all is well. All is well.
A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost.
I am having so many heart attacks.
Believes that he is entitled to
Just
his power.
thinking I'm not coming through today. I don't know how many more my 4 hearts can handle.
If you live apart from others, and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. Think of how far they will go, how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough for today. I should stop before I wear out my welcome.
Lynn, you can never wear your welcome out with me.
You're quite taken with each other, aren't you?
What?
It's hard not to notice the doe-eyed looks he gives you, especially when he thinks no one's watching. It's almost too sweet for my tastes, and I'm an old lady who should be making lace hearts and fuzzy blankets with animal motifs. No, I won't be making socks with pom-poms for you anytime soon. But that's hardly my point.
Yeah, what is your point?
It's a blossoming relationship, and I wanted to ask you where you thought it was going. Alistair is a fine lad, skilled in battle, but quite inexperienced when it comes to affairs of the heart. I would hate to see him get hurt.
I suppose that's fair.
You are both Grey Wardens, and he is the son of a king. You have responsibilities which supersede your personal desires. That may be true, but he is still a Grey Warden. Love is ultimately selfish. It demands that one be devoted to a single person who may fully occupy one's mind and heart to the exclusion of all else. A Grey Warden cannot afford to be selfish. You may be forced to make a choice between saving your love and saving everyone else. And then what would you do? You may have to save one or both of you unnecessary anguish later on. I have given my advice. Do with it what you will. What's on your mind? Oh, yes, and thank you for asking. I'm feeling much better today.
That's good.
Well, thank you for your kindness, my dear. It certainly warms these rickety old bones. What's on your mind? Is something troubling you? No one said it would be easy. You are one of the 2 surviving Grey Wardens in Ferelden. You defend all of us, and much rests on your shoulders.
Yeah.
It may not mean much to you, but thank you for having the courage to continue to fight. And that gives me hope. Have you heard much about the Grey Wardens of old? Griffins. Alas, that seems to be the only thing people remember from the tales. The mighty flying mounts that bore the Grey Wardens into battle. Unfortunately, they've all passed back into the Maker's hand. So that wish will have to go unfulfilled. It was said that watching the Wardens ride in on their white griffins was enough to rouse a weary heart and put the dance back in the step of an old man. The Grey Wardens were powerful, feared and respected, but they also inspired the common people. I remember a tale that was told to me many years ago. The Blight had ravaged the land for months, and the armies of the great kings had amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky above, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of darkspawn, with the archdemon at its head. And it was then, when courage seemed to fail, and all lost to death and despair, that the Grey Wardens came. They arrived with the beating of wings like mighty war drums, and stood before the armies of men. The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, marched forth, ever between the men and the encroaching darkspawn. They formed a shield of their own bodies and held that line until the archdemon was dead, and the last darkspawn lay trampled in the dirt. And then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for their sacrifice, the Grey Wardens departed. When the clouds finally rolled back, and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the great kings knew that they had lost no men, and none of their blood had been spilled. You are observant. This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all. They have always defended us from the Darkspawn, taking losses so we do not have to. People may have forgotten over the centuries, but nothing has changed. This knowledge has been blessing and burden to Grey Wardens past, and now it shall be your blessing and your burden. What's on your mind? No, you won't.
I mean,
I
that's
don't think
true.
so either. You would not have been happy living in obscurity.
I would prefer to die in obscurity.
Don't you? If your life would be better if you weren't who you are. When I was a young woman in the tower, I came to the realization that the circle would be my life, and I would know no other. Family, love, a simple life. These were things that others took for granted, that I would never have. It made me very moody. All I could think of was being trapped in that tower with no way out and no end in sight. I started hating my life and myself, and one night I found myself in the tower's chapel. I was seeking refuge, maybe answers. I must have looked tearful or made some noise, because the revered mother came out and decided to speak to me. And because I had no one else to talk to, I talked to her. I must have said many silly things, but she told me that the Maker puts us all on our paths for a reason. And fighting
Yeah, to
our
laugh at
intended
us.
course is what causes so much anguish.